Welcome, you have reached Imperial Reviews, and today's review is Heretic. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Let's get into it. Let's go over the cast. Hugh Grant, Mr. Reed. Sophie Thatcher plays his sister Barnes. Chloe East plays his sister Paxton. And that's pretty much the cast. And you got Topher Grace plays as Elder Kennedy. And he was barely into the film. So let's get into it. So you have Sister Barnes and Sister Paxton. So they work for they're two missionaries. They work for the Church of Jesus of Latter-day Saints, and they pretty much go out and spread the word to the people in the community and go talk to them about the word and religion and everything like that. So they go to different people's houses, but then they come across Mr. Reed's house. And they speak to him, and it's starting to rain or storm outside. So he invites them in, and they start going through their stuff. And then that's when stuff just get weird. They trying to stand by their protocols by asking if it's a man there, ask for the wife to come and stay in a room with them while they say their stuff. He says he's going to get his wife, but his wife never came. And they put a candle out there that smells like blueberry. Stated that the wife was making a pie. Did they want some pie? They was willing to say they want to sit down with pie. So it's just stuff that you like, man, is people out here really going to people's houses and going inside their houses talking, and you don't know what type time that they on and what they into. So they're talking a bunch of religious stuff, and he's talking religious stuff back with them, and then it gets real spooky and weird. They instantly can't use their phone service. He got metal things within his walls that blocks out the signal. So real creepy that they was even be willing to go in there. And then you had Sister Paxton was kind of like the younger one of the bunch. She's like really kind of like you could say green in a sense, where but she's pay attention to detail. So it's certain things that was happening that you wasn't paying attention real time, but you find out at the end what was taking place. So nevertheless, they go down a rabbit hole about religion, and they go through this dialogue back and forth about religion for about an hour and about about an hour and 4 minutes into the movie. They got this whole back and forth dialogue, creepy stuff. Then about time that mark hits, the 104 mark, then it starts to pick up. So at one point they go into another room. They want to leave. He's telling them they got a choice to go through this door or that door. They find out that the front door is locked. Then he start talking more. Now they creeped out. They go downstairs to one area, and they see a female that's in a cloth. He pretty much said that this female is going to eat the blueberry pie and poison the pie, and we're going to see this female come and be resurrected. So what happens is the female died. They go upstairs, and they hear the doorbell ring. So of course he got everything isolated. Also, once he closed the door, whoever's at the front door can't hear him or whatever. And it's the elder to the church looking for them. Now he looks real weird. He ring the doorbell to see if his girls came by there. He said no. Now keep in mind they rode there on their bikes. The bikes weren't there no longer or whatever. So, and the bikes was locked up. Now he came back and rung the doorbell again. Basically said, "I'll be remiss," and he said, "You know about this book," and gave Mr. Reed the book. He came by that time. When he came back downstairs, Sister Paxton pretty much was like, yo, she moved. And then Sister Barnes was like, no, she's dead. She couldn't move. She's like, nah, she moved. See, what it's showing that Sister Paxton was paying attention to detail. So he eventually came down, and when Sister Paxton turned around, the woman was standing in front of her and threw up in her presence on them while they was trying to light a match, and pretty much speaking all these things she said she seen in the afterlife. And then at the end, she whispered, "This is fake." So that's another detail that Sister Paxton picked up on, that she said that. So once that took place, you had Mr. Reed came downstairs, and he pretty much took the match from them, lit the candle, and they had a bunch of dialogue going on. And at that moment, Sister Barnes had told Sister Paxton, "Here, take this knife. When you get the opportunity, stab him and be strong, and, stab him in the neck." So she was distracting Reed, saying her whole spiel about everything. And right at that moment, he sliced her in her throat, basically saying, "Oh, we're going to see if you resurrect and come back." She dropped. All the blood came gushing out of her. And so now at this point, Sister Paxton start revealing all the things she picked up, and she figured out his whole plan, everything he was trying to do. So eventually the real thing that he was saying about religion, the real meaning behind religion is control. It's basically, if you get behind a religion, you'll be controlled. And what she did was she looked around the room. She pretty much said that there was another woman that came and took the dead woman out, and she played as she was the woman that resurrected. She said that basically when their coats was on, he placed their coats in another room. He looked in the pockets. There was a key to the lock to their bikes. He removed their bikes and unlocked the padlock, and took their bikes and put them somewhere else so nobody would know that they were there. And she noticed that his hair was wet. That's how she knew that took place. So when she went downstairs, he put the lock that they had for their bike on the lock down in the like a lower level than the level that they were on. And so she went down there, and when she went down in the lower level, she seen the dead body. So she was right. She kept moving around, and and she went further and deeper. And when she went and picked the lock, she seen all these women in cages, and they pretty much was like sorority girls. He was snatching up, and he was barely feeding them, barely giving them drink of water, and basically experiment with them or whatever. So of course Sister Paxton start saying her whole spiel and revealing everything to him, and basically saying he'd been improvising because the woman, she went off script. And so he pretty much agreed, and the woman that did that, he cut her finger off. He cut partial of her finger off. So eventually Sister Paxton stabbed him in the neck. He started to bleed out and fell, and she went back upstairs. So she didn't put nothing over the cellar door or anything like that. She went all the way back upstairs to the house and couldn't find a way to get back out. So eventually she realized she had to go back downstairs to try to get back out. And when she went back down there, she seen that the cellar door was open. And so when she turned around, he stabbed her in her stomach. Once she stabbed her in her stomach, he still was bleeding out of his neck. She went and curled in the corner, and he was trying to crawl over to her so he could finish her off because she was weak. And then she just start praying and pretty much, you know, she's looking for a miracle. Out of nowhere, Sister Barnes, on a last heroic act to help Sister Paxton, she rose up out of nowhere, and there was a board down there with nails in it. She cracked him in the head with the board with nails, finishing him off. And so we think anyway, finishing him off. And then Sister Paxton pretty much, she died after that. She bled out because she was still bleeding out from her neck. So that's her last heroic act. So what Sister Paxton did was she was able to find her way out the house. And earlier in the movie, she had said if she ever died, she wanted to come back reincarnated and come as a butterfly. And what she'd do is her loved one, she'd come land on their finger to let them know that she was reincarnated. So she made it out, and it was morning when she made it out, and she was walking, and she fell on the ground, and a butterfly came on her finger and then washed away or whatever. So that's how it ended. Maybe that was Sister Barnes reincarnated in a butterfly. Who knows? Overall, it was a boring movie. At the end of that, you know, you come here to listen to the review, save you some time, or, you know, still be anticipated to go watch. It was a boring movie. I give it a 1.5 out of 4 stars. It just was boring. Too much dialogue. Not enough action. When the action picked up, like the last 40 minutes of the movie, and it really wasn't nothing to it after that. So it's going to be one of them movies is either you like it or you don't. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Till next time.